Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and this video is all about my birth story, and it's probably one that you guys have been waiting for quite a while. So last time you see me I was pregnant and now I'm not. The story is going to be quite long. I'm going to try to speed through it. I have forgotten a hell of a lot of it, so I am sorry. There will be that noise as well, and I will introduce you to my little girl. Hold on. Yeah then. Okay. So I have wrote some notes down from the things I can remember. It's such a blur, it went by so fast, it's insane. Today today is a Friday, and I had her on a Monday, so it's coming up to 3 weeks now. She's going to be 3 weeks old soon. Today's the first day that I have made an effort with myself to look normal, because I'm struggling a little bit and I feel very, very tired, exhausted, not myself. And I thought today I'm gonna sit down and do my makeup and put some effort into how I look, and hopefully looking at myself I'll look like my old self. Hopefully I feel like my old self, but yeah, I'm still tired and I still feel really shitty and drained, but looking in the mirror I don't look like a demon as much. So I thought I'd just try, sit down and film this, get it out of the way, knock it out, and you guys can catch up. So I have some notes, because I've still got really bad baby brain. Is that a thing, to have it 3 weeks post baby? So let's start from the beginning. I went over my due date by 6 days. So I was due on the 6th of November, which was a Tuesday. I had a sweep and everything, it failed. We got to Sunday morning and I woke up, my boyfriend come into the front room. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning, and he come in here, and I messaged him and said, I think I'm in slow labour, I'm having like period type pains and they're a bit more intense than usual. So he come in the bedroom and he's like, are you alright? I'm like, I don't know, it's hurting. And I still to that day didn't think I was going to have a baby. I still didn't quite believe it. So he says, come on, let's get up, let's get something to eat, you might feel better. So I jumped out of bed, stood up, and whoosh, it wasn't watery, but I felt something go. I ran to the toilet, a little bit disbelief, a little bit in panic, and there was a lot of blood in my underwear. It was watered down blood, and obviously I thought either this is my bloody show or it is my waters breaking, and I just burst into tears. I was gone. That was it. I was panicked. I rang my mum. I was like, oh my god, mum, I think it's happening. I'm scared. And my friend Kirsty, I rang Kirsty. I just didn't know what to do. I just sat in the toilet for like 2 hours. I didn't know what to do. So I rang the hospital and they said, it's fine, it's okay. You come into the hospital about 12, we'll check you, see what's going on. They weren't too concerned. Now this was at 9:15 when it happened. They wanted to see me at 12:30, so they couldn't. I thought, okay, right, okay. So first thing I did, I jumped in the shower, because I thought, if I'm giving birth today, I need to be clean. I need a clean cooch. So I had a shower, I was crying, I was panicking. I got out, and the contractions, they was every 2.5 minutes. I was timing them, and they lasted about 28 seconds each. So 2.5 minutes is quite like close together, and I was told that that was a sign that the baby was coming. So I was like, shit, I need to get to the hospital. So I couldn't eat my sandwich. I was in so much pain, it was unreal. I was like, this is it, it's actually happening. I couldn't believe it. So I went to the hospital. I managed to hobble. 1 second. I managed to hobble from the car to the hospital, and they put me on a monitor and everything, make sure I was okay, make sure baby was okay, and then they did a speculum. Now, if any of you that don't know what that is, if you have like a smear test or anything, it's like a metal duct thing they put in and open up. I was having contractions so close together that I was having contractions while they were speculum me. Oh my god, I was like, get it out. I was like having a contraction while it was in there opening up. It was the most pain I'd ever felt in my life to that point. She says, if you're having a contraction, just tell me and I'll stop what I'm doing. But she didn't take it out. She carried on. My days. And she also did a sweep, which she really did get in there as well. Like, really did try and open up my cervix while I was contracting, and that was not fun. So after that, she said I'm not dilating hardly at all. She says that I was bleeding quite a lot as well. I did lose my mucus plug when I was in the hospital. I was bleeding, and that was a worry because you're not really meant to bleed continuously while you're obviously having contractions and everything. So they've sent me to the birthing centre where shit goes down, where it actually happens, and they was very concerned about this bleeding. And they kept asking to check my pads, and I said, what is it then? What do you think this is? They said it could be, if it carries on, it could be that your placenta's detached. Now that scares me. And if any of you watched Twilight, the final one where she has the baby, well, the second to final one, her placenta detaches. This pregnancy and birth is very, very, very similar to Twilight and how it went down, which is really weird. So that worried me. I wanted to go for a walk. I wanted to be very mobile during my labour, and they was like, no, you can't. We need to monitor you constantly. So they checked me again after 4 hours. I was still not dilating much at all. I think they said 1 to 2 centimetres at this point. Very slow, but I'm still contracting every 2 to 2.5 minutes. Very intense contractions. So I was getting all the bad bits and none of the good. So they spoke to me about putting me on a hormonal drip. They says because your waters have gone, we can't leave it and wait because there's risk of infection. So we're going to put you on a hormone drip, and it makes everything more painful, more intense. I was like, oh, fantastic. They didn't offer me any pain relief at this point. So I think it was about 5-6 o'clock getting on now. I'd been in labour since 9. So they put me on a hormone drip, and I had to be strapped up because I'm on a hormone drip. That had like wires and things, and I had to have monitors on my baby constantly as well. So I was strapped to the bed after that. Like, it was intense, it was painful. I couldn't move. When you're in pain, you want to writhe around, you want to cramp up, don't you? You don't want to lay down on your back, not being able to move. You just don't. So that was the worst case scenario for me, and it happened. So it was cracking on for about 8 o'clock at night, I think, maybe 9. And I was like, I need some pain relief now. I'm in so much pain. Get me that epidural. Get me the juice. I needed it. So they said, fine, okay. You're still not dilated past 2 centimetres. You don't normally give it that early on, but you've been in labour a long time, you're in a lot of pain. So they did decide to give me the epidural. Now I was absolutely shitting myself about this. They got me to sit on the edge of my bed. My partner was in front of me, and I had like a stool under my feet. My entire body was shaking like a shitting dog. The whole of my body was shaking while they was doing it, and they had to inject like a local, and then they put the needle thing in, and you just feel so much pressure and so much pushing. I thought the needle was going to thread through to the other side of me. I thought it was going to poke through my stomach. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I had all that done. It was very serious. They was like, don't put your arms behind your back right now. We've sterilised the area. It was quite serious and intense. And they threaded me up with all the wires and everything, and it did take effect. And I was like, oh, this is heaven. I was just, it just took the edge off so much, and it took it off very fast. It was wonderful because I've been in so much pain, I could finally relax a little bit. So they put a catheter in, obviously, because your legs tend to go numb. Mine didn't go numb though. Like, I could still feel everything. My legs, I could still feel my legs, I could still feel my cooch, I could feel everything apart from the contractions, which had diminished. So they put a catheter in because I couldn't get up and walk to the toilet apparently. And I was so scared of that. They did that before the epidural took effect, so I felt it, and it weren't as bad as I thought. And I just kept saying, oh my god, has it fell out? And they was like, no, it's got a little balloon thing on it and it's not going nowhere. and my pee was very orange and there wasn't a lot of it, so they put me on bags of fluid. I says to them, at night time I've always got really like strong wee, I always have done while I've been pregnant. I said, so don't worry about it. They was like, well, we've got to put these fluid bags on. So in the end they put me on like 5 bags of fluid, which is like 5 litres, which is way too much. And at the end they said, I think we've given you too much, and yeah, they gave me too many fluids. So I had my big bag of fluids, I had my epidural juice, I had monitors this side of me, I was strapped up, my catheter between my legs. It was not fun. I was just immobile. So they kept checking me every 4 hours to make sure I was dilating, and I wasn't. I was stuck at 2 centimetres. I think I was 2 centimetres for 24 hours. Which isn't really great. Nothing was happening, and I was on the hormone drip, which is meant to make things happen, and it just didn't. So the doctor says maybe only part of your waters are broke. So he decided to get one of those like hook things, and he popped some water. He says he thinks that the hind waters had gone in the morning, the front waters was still there, which causes the baby's head not to be able to come down and dilate you, so that's probably why. So he decided to pop that, and he was lovely. What was his name? His name's Marius, I think. He was really funny, and I like that name. So he did that, and he was like, oh, my knee's wet. It was so funny. It was lovely. But there was so many sweeps, and it was so much vigorous, like literally fingering. I could feel certain things as well still. It wasn't pleasant at all, and I was so tired I didn't sleep at all. Eventually I did dilate to like 3 centimetres, and another 4 hours went by, and then I dilated to 4, and then the epidural wore off, and I was like progressing quite at a nice pace. The epidural wore off, my contractions were stronger, I was still on the hormone drip, I was tired, and I was vomiting everywhere, like being sick all over the place. I had like injections for sickness, but I was filling the buckets up. It was horrendous. So we got to like 2 p.m. the next day, and they just kept saying, we're going to check you every 4 hours, and if nothing happens then we might have to have a cesarean. I was just like, oh my god, nothing's happening. I'm in agony. I was in so much pain towards the end. The guy tried to pull a bit of my epidural tube out, see if that helped, see if it was hitting a nerve wrong or something. And then he put some more fluids through, and then only half my body went numb. I could feel the other half, and it was so strange. In the end, the baby started to get distressed. I did dilate to 6 to 7 centimetres by the end, but the baby was too distressed, and they was worrying, and they just says, look, you've done enough, can't do no more than what you've done. It's time for an emergency cesarean section. And I was just like, just get it done, get it out, I can't cope anymore. And then something just changed, like immensely changed. It went from being calm, 1 or 2 doctors and midwives in the room, to about, I'd say about 11, 8 to 11 maybe, rushing in the room, talking to me all at once, trying to get my jewellery off, trying to do blood tests at the same time, doing my blood pressure cuff, checking baby monitor, making sure that I'm okay, checking my insides. There was my mum and my partner in the room, and there was just so much going off. It was like bees in the room buzzing around you, everybody's talking to you at once, and it was just so intense, and it was awful. I've never experienced anything like it in my life, and there was just so much going off all at once. I couldn't keep up, and then they literally laid me down and rushed me off very, very, very fast. It was very important they hurry up with this. They took me away, and again there were so many people in this room. It was like a whole theatre just for me. There was about, I'd say about 15 people in this theatre room, all talking about me, not to me. I was panicking. The epidural again had worn off. I could feel nothing happening, and I was in so much pain, having contractions. And they was like, we need to do a spinal now, because the epidural isn't working, you will feel us cutting in, so we need to do a spinal on you. And I was having the worst contractions. I was at 7 centimetres by that point. I was having the worst contractions. Her head was there, it was ready, and there was like, you need to stay still. And my boyfriend was gone, like they was putting him in them blue robe things. He was gone somewhere. I was on my own with all these strange people who wasn't actually comforting me. They was just buzzing around me. It was so manic. And I was like, I'm having a contraction, and they were doing this spinal. I was like, oh my God, I need to move. And it was so painful, and I just was in a panic. As soon as the spinal was done, the bottom half of me went numb, and they was putting me on pat slides everywhere, like I was switching beds, and I was like, I can't move, and they could barely lift me up because my whole body was like dead weight. And I just remember saying, I'm so sorry, I weigh so much. I'm so sorry. And then they put this gas mask on me, and I was numb. And I started to feel very, very sick. And I thought, I can't move. I'm going to be sick. I'm on my back. I'm going to choke. I'm going to die. I had this gas mask on. I thought I'm going to be sick in it. And I was like, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick. And then they just kept shoving these like sickness things down my cannula. I'm still bruised from them trying to get cannulas in me. Like, I'm black and blue all over. The sickness did dwindle a little bit, but my hearing went on one side. Like, I was totally deaf on one side after this spinal they did. I don't know why. And I was dizzy, and I felt out of it. I was like completely out of it. My boyfriend, I just could see him, and my eyes just kept shutting. They put a very small thing, do you know, like how you see on TV and movies, they put a big screen to stop you from seeing. It was like that high and that wide. So I could still see the people. I could see the people up to their like chests. So here I could see nurses, midwives cutting me open from the chest upwards. I could see them. And there was two, I'll never forget this, there was two women either side of me, and all I could see was this from the side. Like this, like that vigorous motion, both of them. And I was like, that is my stomach. And I says to him before, I said, can you just test I am numb first? Can you just poke me or something with a knife, and if I feel it, because I was so scared I'd feel it. And they said that they would, and they never did. I never had that test, and there was already in my stomach. Like, it was so quick, it was so fast, and I was so out of it. I was just laid there with my eyes shut going, Anyway, I was just not present. I wasn't in the moment. I wasn't there. And I heard my boyfriend say, oh my God, she's here. And I could hear screaming in the background, very, very faint screaming. He was crying, and it was hysterical. And I couldn't even open my eyes. He tried to show me. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't see it. I was out of it. It was like I'd been knocked unconscious, but I was in and out. It was awful. It was the worst thing I've ever been through in my life. Anyway, he had his little skin to skin. He did the cord. I couldn't see that. And it's really affected me that I wasn't there. I didn't see her being born. I wasn't present. I felt like, because you know, the whole pregnancy, I felt like I wasn't pregnant. And I felt like it was just going to go away. And somebody was just going to give me a baby. At the end of the cesarean, they just gave me a baby, and I didn't even know it was mine because I didn't see it. And that's really affected me mentally. I needed to be able to see that or feel it. I feel robbed of a natural birth. I feel robbed of seeing her being born, of experiencing that. And having a cesarean, it does affect you differently to a natural birth, and I feel totally robbed of it. Anyways, they wheeled me to a recovery ward. I don't even remember getting there. But my mum and my boyfriend's mum seen the baby before I did. That really upset me. They was waiting in the corridor, and as we went past, apparently they seen the baby. I didn't even see her. I didn't have skin to skin. I didn't get to cuddle her, look at her. They seen her before I did, and it really did upset me and affect me. And I was just laid there like a complete zombie gonk, just totally, I couldn't even see. My boyfriend had the first hour with her. I had nothing. Anyways, we got onto a ward. I started to come round. I got to have a little time with it. We did have a little breastfeed, and that was so sweet and so cute. It is getting a little bit dark in here. I do apologise. Let me see if a lamp will help. Let me get the other one on. Is that any better? Is that any better? I don't know. So we did all the recovery. I'm just going to turn over now. I have recovery notes. So the baby was born at 3:11 p.m. on Monday the 12th. That's my sister's birthday, and also my niece's birthday, and now my daughter's birthday. The whole year I did not want it to fall on the 12th, and what did it do? It fell on the 12th. Just my luck, eh? So recovery, baby pooed in me twice on the way out, so they had to treat me for infection. I had to have, in the end, 2 bags of blood transfusion because my iron levels were so low and I was very, very faint. I almost fainted going to the toilet. They was ridiculously low, so we had to stay in a bit longer for that. And after the transfusion, my iron levels was still not up enough. They said it's not transfusion level high, it's not, and that was an issue. So I've been on iron tablets since. Also, baby was showing signs of infection. They didn't know what infection. I can't even remember how it come about. It's all a blur. I just remember them walking in at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning on the ward and saying, we need to take your baby away. We think she has brain infections. We think she's got something wrong in her brain. I was very tired, hadn't slept. A lot had gone on, and they took her away and says, we need to do a spinal on your baby to get the fluid from around her brain. I was devastated to think that they have got to put a needle into my little baby's spine, like I had to have the cesarean, and get the fluid out and hurt her. And she already had a cannula in because there was treating her for infections and all sorts of things. She had a little cannula in her hand, and it really broke me to see that she had a little needle in her vein, and she kept banging it on her head and knocking it, and it broke me. It literally took me to the edges of insanity, seeing her in that much pain and seeing them do big human things to her when she's only little. It was heartbreaking. We was just crying constantly. I couldn't stop crying. My boyfriend was so upset. We were both a mess. Anyway, they brought her back. They said they couldn't do it. They failed. They couldn't get the fluid they needed, so they want to do it again. So they did another one the next day in a little spine, and it didn't work again. So they said they'd have to treat her with a general antibiotic. So we had to stay in for another 5 days. Now, we was in hospital 9 days altogether. We were so exhausted, so tired. I'd not slept at all. We went through so much together. And she was really poorly because she had antibiotics. She had a bad stomach, crying all the time. It was horrendous. It was the worst experience of my life. I know it sounds bad. We eventually got to bring her home, thank God. But I was suffering so much in hospital with the cesarean. The pain of being sliced open and having 4 layers stitched up was more than I thought. I thought it'd be a walk in park, but it's so bad. I had to have 30 hours of natural labour and then a cesarean. So I tried both, basically. The only part I didn't do is push her out. So I've had both experiences. So we come home, and then I had a swelling over my scar, a humongous swelling. I had to go back into the hospital. And then I had an infection, so they put me on antibiotics, and they said I have a really bad hematoma, and my scar's been split open and draining of blood. It's still doing that right now, and it's nearly 3 weeks, and I'm still bleeding. They said it's normal, the hematoma's draining. It's just horrendous. Like, I've got bloody pads everywhere, gauze everywhere. I still can't walk very good. I'm still suffering. And I just want to be better. I want to be better. I want to be able to sleep. And she's not sleeping. Oh, she's not sleeping very good. I'm so exhausted. And I'm not coping very good. But I think in time, things will get easier. Things will get better. She'll sleep more. I'll be healed better. We're getting a routine. My boyfriend got like 3 days off work for us, because he was in hospital for that long. We had 3 days at home before I had to go back to work. So I've had to do pretty much everything by myself. I've had so much help, so many offers to help from family and friends, but I feel like I need to power through and get things done myself. so that I'll be stronger in myself and know that I can do it. But I literally haven't ate. I don't eat anymore. I don't have time to eat. She's asleep right now, but I never know how long she's going to be asleep for. And yeah, I have housework to do. I have bottles to sterilise, to clean. I have washing to do. I have pots to do, hoovering. There's so much to do, when they say sleep when they sleep, you just can't, because there's so many chores to do. It never ends. If anybody's thinking about having a baby, don't. I would never do this again. I love her so much that it hurts me. I look at her and I cry, but she's so naughty and so clingy. She needs me all the time. Like, I had to put a t-shirt in there so she could smell me, just because she just cries when I put her down. She's like obsessed with me. I know, it's so cute and I love her so much, but I am struggling. I'm exhausted. I only get about 4 hours a night, if that, and it is interrupted hours. So that is my story. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, basically. I want to get her out and show you, but I'm not, because for my insanity she needs a snap. So what I'll do is I'll show you on the camera. So here she is, fast asleep at the minute. My little cherub. She's so beautiful and so cute and has blonde hair. Look at her. And she has to sleep with her arms up. This is a little basket. She's adorable, and I've got so much to show you. I don't know how I'm going to fit it in. I have loads of little clips. I think I might make a separate video. So this is just going to be my birthing story. Okay, so I've probably missed stuff off and missed stuff out. I'm on the injections for 6 weeks now, so I have to self-inject twice a day. I've been on antibiotics, I've been on iron tablets. So it's been great. I can't think of anything else to tell you other than that my cousin ended up having her baby at the same time as me. She ended up being on the same ward. We did get moved to a side room because we was there that long. So by the time we got on a side ward, she was in the ward that we was on. But what are the chances? Like, she was in at the same time, had a little girl. She had her naturally. I just wish I had. That is it. I've probably missed loads, but I can't remember. It felt like such a rush. Like, it went so fast. There is probably things that I have totally forgotten, not said. And if there is, then there is. But that is the gist of the story. And now you know. So I'm gonna go. You'll probably not see much of me for the next few months because I'm so busy, but I'm gonna try my best to get stuff filmed when I can. I have been contacted by a clothing company. They want to do a collaboration, so I'll end up filming something like that when we've sorted it and the clothes are here. So I'm excited for that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love and the support. It means the world to me. And take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the future.